Hello DYKs and welcome to a slightly different video. In this video, we are going to break down the facts on why real estate is and has been the best investment for building wealth. By the end of this video, you are going to have a clear idea on how real estate builds wealth and why a lot of rich people and smart investors have some kind of money invested on land and houses. Welcome to the Didn't You Know channel, the place where phenomenal men and women come to get inspired. With that in mind, here are 15 reasons why real estate is the best for building wealth. Number 1. Real estate is a valuable investment. If you think that investing money on real estate is not a good investment strategy, you might have to change the way how you think. Throughout time, the real estate market has literally outperformed investor goals in terms of return. Exceptions being the events post 2007, but even then, these smart investors have picked up properties for seasonal discounts. Real estate is one of the safest investments a person can make because the value of a property completely depends on the building and location. And guess what? The value won't suffer a drop anytime soon. Rest assured, the value of your property won't be devalued just because more buildings rise up. So, if you want your money to be saved for generations, the best advice we would give you is to buy lands and buy buildings. Number 2. Natural appreciation. There are 3 major reasons that drive the demand for real estate. The first reason is the constant increase of the population. The second reason is people need a place to live and do their work. And the third reason is many businesses are concentrated in top hotspot cities. These are the 3 reasons why there is a constant increase in the values of property. Oh, and didn't you know? The average home all around the world appreciates in value by 3% per year. The trending markets are seeing even a more rapid growth. For the last decade, central real estate has appreciated 6% on average per year, effectively doubling in value every 10 years. Now, not only does real estate maintain its value over time, but it also increases your value for you. Confused? Don't be. The reason why it does that is because of the constant increase in demand, silly. Number 3. Forced appreciation. Rather than natural appreciation, there are options which you could use to drive the value of your property up by yourselves. Didn't you know? Forced appreciation is actually increasing the value through direct efforts and investments into the property. You could fix the floor, retile the floor, add a different type of flooring, add flooring mats, insert some technology, and do some interior designing too. These are smart tools which anyone can use to completely renovate the property rather than selling the same property for a higher price. And by doing so, you can force the property to go up. This is actually the main reason why the entire house flipping market exists. People find properties in poor conditions or even undervalued properties, force appreciation into them and sell it for a profit. Now, not only is real estate a solid and trusted asset, you can actively build it up to be worth more if you choose to. Number 4. Tax benefits. Governments really like real estate investors and treat them differently when it comes to taxation. Oh, and didn't you know? Real estate investors pay less tax than almost any other citizen. But why does the government do it though? It's pretty simple actually. Real estate investors provide housing for the general public and increase value by developing land. Now, this is why real estate investors are called developers. Here are some of the tax deductibles you can receive as a real estate developer. 1. Depreciation deduction from income. 2. Mortgage interest tax deductions from income. 3. Cost of repairs, maintenance and upkeep. 4. Cost of services. 5. Utilities. 6. Travel costs associated with property. And 7. Property tax deductions. No matter where you live in the world, you'll eventually find out that governments often treat real estate developers better than small business owners or regular citizens. Number 5. Passive income for life. We can feel you. We see that big smile on your face. This is probably our favorite point as well. If you're a true DYK, this will definitely give you the butterflies in your belly. Own an apartment in New York City or Los Angeles, California and rent it out. These are two popular cities in the United States, and you can live off with the rental income for the rest of your lives if you catch the perfect client. One of the DYK crew members' parents did this right after retirement and are living the time of their lives with the income received from the rent. People these days need central housings, but if you look at some popular cities, there's literally not enough space to build houses or apartments anymore. And come on, you have to admit that whenever you notice a new apartment coming up in the heart of the city, the first thing that crosses your mind is the price. And no matter how ugly and tight it might turn out to be, it'll definitely be super expensive and overpriced for your budget. Now, by no means are we trying to say that these apartments should not be bought by real estate agents. You can invest in these super expensive apartments, but you're going to have to approach different clients, and bagging these guys is going to take some effort. And you need experience as well. If you're ready for that big leap, then go ahead and do it. But be smart when it comes to pricing. The super rich usually don't go for rented properties, and the average person won't waste too much of their income on housing space alone. But like it or not, there is always demand for quality real estate, and people are willing to take the initiative and pay the high-end rates because they have two options. 1. They can buy a property in the middle of the city and get home early and do their productive work. Or they can wait for up to 2 hours in traffic and transit and go to their crib at the edge of the city completely exhausted. Real estate is a modern day version of an oil rig in your backyard working 24/7 to make money for you. And here's a tip from Warren Buffett, which we, as college students, took seriously. And now we are prospering from the benefits. The tip is, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work for money until you die. We at DYK came across this quote in 2019 and literally pulled in all of our money and got a condo, and we made a $2,000 profit as well. A lot of people told that we should have aimed for a more higher profit margin, but come on, we were just kids and we had zero experience, so we had to settle for low profits. Number 6. Market cycles. Believe it or not, experienced real estaters love market cycles. Wanna know why? It's not that complicated at all. Who doesn't love seasonal discounts? Same goes for real estaters as well. They love it when market prices go down and property prices drop. Here's another twister. Why do they love it? Because they can buy more for cheap and use the remaining money to renovate the property if needed, or to make it better than it was before. While everybody's freaking out, while the economy is struggling, that's when investors come out to buy and sell as much as they can. Let's say somebody is willing to sell you a brand new Rolex that you knew was worth $200,000 for only $100,000, and the only rule is that you have to keep the Rolex in the box for a couple of years and maybe wear it for a day or two and then sell it again for twice the amount if you wanted to. Wouldn't you take the deal? Real estate experiences similar market cycles as the stock market and can be beneficial for you and your real estate business. Number 7. Price range. A big issue most people have is that real estate is not accessible. It's too expensive. Well, yes, it is expensive when you look at places like New York and Los Angeles as mentioned above. But move a bit downtown or to a countryside and you'll see a huge drop of the prices. Check out Zillow.com because Zillow is literally filled with real estate properties you can buy for $60,000 or less. Or you can invest in mansions, castles, residential complexes, shopping malls, and the list can go on. You just have to look. Don't kill us here, fellow DYKs, but if you're actually unable to make around $80,000 to $100,000 to invest in real estate, then the investing life is not going to be on your portfolio. Number 8. Easy access to funding. Anywhere in the world we live in today, you literally have access to banks. Walk down London and you literally see a bank every 200 meters or so. Banks give out certain amount of credit if you're employed, and it's also proof that you have the means to pay the money back. It's never been easier or cheaper than it is today to have quick access to capital. Many governments are offering preferred interest rates when buying a home. What you can do is learn about these programs and take advantage of them. In some cases, there's as little as 5% of money down on a credited investment backed by the states. And everybody has access to these type of credited programs. Number 9. Refinancing. For most people out there, refinancing seems limited to getting another credit card to cover a previous loan. Real estate investors do that as well. The real estate way. When interest rate drops, they go to a different bank, take out a loan, and pay for the previous one, and now pay less than they used to, keeping more of the rental money with themselves. But refinancing can do way more if you use it the real estate way. Chill out DYKs, we'll break it down. Let's just assume that you find an undervalued property for $150,000, but you had some negotiating skills up your sleeve and you were able to buy the property for $120,000. But the problem is, you have $100,000, so you borrow another $50,000 from a bank. Now instead of going for a quick sale, you invest another $5,000 to renovate the place, and you also find a quality tenant to rent it. You now go to a different bank and ask them to refinance your house. They look at the property and your monthly rental income your property is generating, and they offer you a $180,000 in financing. You pay the $50,000 to the previous bank and you are left with $130,000 cash on hand. And since you're a smart investor just like all DYKs are, you use that cash and buy more properties and follow the same process over again. This is the simplified method of buying property through BRRRR. Buy, rehab, rent, refinance. And it's how most beginner investors get their portfolio started. Number 10. Other people pay for your investment. Let's just assume that you're not really interested in doing all these financial acrobatics mentioned before, but instead want to settle for just ownership. All you have to do is make sure the income generated from the rental property is higher than the mortgage and supports the expenses. Let's break it down. You invest $40,000 for a $120,000 property with the remaining $80,000 mortgage for 30 years. The property rents out for $1,500 a month and has expenses including mortgages around $1,000 a month. So 1,500 minus $1,000 is $500. So this property has a cash flow of $500. So wrapping this up, the tenant is paying $1,500 and all the expenses and mortgages of $1,000 is deducted from the tenant's payment, leaving you with $500 in your pocket. So in short words, the tenant is buying your property and maintaining the expenses. Sounds easy, right? 90% of millionaires are invested in real estate, and now you know why. Number 11. Tangible asset. Many investors believe in seeing and touching their investments. Some people look at crypto and stocks as imaginary money, and for these people, real estate is by far a preferred choice. And in a case of emergency, you can use your own property as a home or an office for yourself. Now, since this investment can't be stolen or hacked like stocks or crypto, is also a bonus sign. Traditional investors prefer these type of tangible assets with a steady return over the high-risk alternatives. Number 12. Easily insurable. Insurance companies are all over the world. Every land, every property can and should be insured. There are major real estate insurance companies with insurance brokers fighting each other for the best rates with the highest coverage. With your properties insured, you're sleeping in Wonderland every night as your tenant is covering that expense as well. The main reasons why you should insure all your properties are: 1. Protection from property damage. Natural disasters happen, so insuring your property will guarantee that your property is protected. 2. Reimbursement for lost items. Theft happens, so be protected. 3. Protection from lawsuits. There are some haters out there who'd love to see you fail, so they'll try their best to sue you for the silliest reasons, so be protected. Number 13. Easily transferable to kids. This is another big leap if you're looking to build a legacy or a brand. Real estate is easily transferable to the ones next in line. In most countries and even the states, there is no tax for inherited property. Let's break it down. If you're good at your job, you earn well and you buy some properties, leave it for your kids, pray that they don't screw it up, but instead manage to get your properties like you did, then you got no worries. Because by the time the third generation comes around, the rental income coming in from these properties should be more than enough to cover your living costs. Number 14. Diversification. Okay, let your imagination go wild here. When people think of real estate, they picture an apartment or a duplex rented out to a family. But there's more to this story. There's a hell of a lot of options when investing in real estate. 1. Single family like an apartment. 2. Multifamily like a townhouse. 3. Apartment complexes. 4. Short-term rentals like Airbnbs. 5. Hotels. 6. Commercial, like owning the space with a bakery next door. 7. Commercial complexes, like sort of owning a shopping mall. 8. Office buildings, companies moving their employees in. 9. Industrial, owning the place where plastic cups and bags are made. 10. Agricultural lands, the most common investment in the game. Even though these sound the same, they all behave differently, have different needs, and yes, they are priced differently. Number 15. Easy liquidating assets. Who would say no to quick access to cash if you need it? That's why it's in the last of our list. Let's just give you a heads up though. Liquidating real estate is not as easy as liquidating stocks, but due to the high demand in real estate properties, there's always someone ready to buy. In our personal experience, it takes around 60 to 150 days to sell a house, and although it sounds like a long time, it really isn't. It's just 5 months. Not to mention that if the cash need is urgent, you can always take out a mortgage and refinance your company. All of these sound pretty interesting, right? We highly recommend you to check out local real estate websites and find out more on how much the entry level is for apartments, duplex and other properties. Then, make a plan for the next couple of years to be able to get yourself there. One property at a time though. Don't rush and ruin your money just because this video sounds sweet. Waiting for your bonus tip, eh? Don't worry, we got you covered. Here's the truth about real estate. You can't get into real estate business without some upfront cash. For upfront cash, you definitely need a job. Or you can just borrow money from your parents or take a loan. But is it worth being in debt to someone? And what if you had cash for only one purchase and your first purchase turned out to be a bummer? Believe us, this is a classic newbie mistake which even we faced. So, before jumping into real estate, have a steady source of money and cut off unnecessary expenses. Once you have a good amount, invest them into real estate without letting your materialistic cravings deceive you. You work for money until money starts working for you. Your goal should be to have money where real estate properties feel accessible to you. If you're not sure, then work harder until you have enough money to invest. If owning properties is on your checklist, then type checklist checked and throw them in the comments below. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we will be talking about the 15 assets that make people richer. See ya, bye.